So today's video is all about the brand Djeco. It's all about the artist and it's all about the style. But first, I want to start off by telling you all the reasons why I was slightly disappointed with the 1000 piece version of this brand. So first of all, it needs to be noted that my first experience with a Djeco puzzle was this 150 piece puzzle, and I loved everything about it. The pieces were matte, and I'm talking completely 100% matte. There's no shine or gloss whatsoever on them. The feel is like, I guess you would say, a velvety feel, and the piece variety was, there was something of everything in that 150 piece puzzle. So when I opened the bag for this puzzle, I was slightly disappointed because all the pieces were the same shape. It's two innies and two outies throughout. There wasn't a variety of piece shapes, and I was kind of thrown back because why would the 150 piece puzzle have a variety and not a 1000 piece? And then there's a gloss on these on these pieces that I did not expect. I probably hoped that the pieces would have the same non-glare finish and a matte finish to them as the 150 piece. So quite a high shine compared to this one, not as bad as some other brands that I've done in the past. So in the bigger picture, taking everything into consideration, it wasn't bad. I did enjoy the puzzle. The two innies, two outies, single shape did not take away from the fun of the puzzle. I did not have false fits. That was absolutely great. And then on completing the puzzle, the third thing that was kind of disappointing is the fact that they lift quite easily, especially and not even on the knobs, the shoulders. I guess you would call it the shoulders. They lift quite heavily, and I had to glue about 6 or 7 pieces during the course of assembling this puzzle. I bought this secondhand, so just taking that into consideration. And as I assembled it, I came across 2 pieces that had a piece of the knob that was peeled off and missing. So I couldn't even glue them back. I wish the previous owner did do the go through the trouble to just glue all the pieces that lifted, but still the image is beautiful. And that brings me to the reasons why I absolutely love the brand and why I would definitely consider buying new ones. That being said, I will look out for secondhand puzzles from this brand. They are quite expensive in my country because it's an import from France. So I don't think I will ever buy one at full price. So if I do get them secondhand and I get the art that I love, I will definitely buy another. Now, I think for the rest of the video, I will show you the time lapse and talk to you about the artist and the art style and a bit more about the brand during the time lapse. So I'll see you afterwards for my final thoughts. Okay, so the brand was established in 1954 by Veronica, and at the time it was frowned upon because a female entrepreneur wasn't something that you saw every day. Apparently, the brand died down a bit, and in 1989, her son Frederick revived the brand and it blossomed into the brand that we know today. So, regardless of all the things that I said, I must just mention that there is some things that I did enjoy, which I was thankful for, and what they did right. For one, no false fits. So even though all the pieces are of the same shape, I had zero false fits. Every knob is unique enough that I don't think even if there was big same color sections that I would have had a problem. There isn't a big picture of the full image on the box. The one on the back of the box is absolutely tiny. There's no detail visible on that one, but there is a poster included. So for those of you guys that love a poster, yes, there's a poster included. But for me personally, it was way too big. That poster was about the size of this puzzle, if not bigger. I actually need to check that out. And for me, it's too big. I couldn't handle that size. So I basically went in blind and only had the front of the image. It's only a part of the image. I had that as a reference and I worked from that. But luckily, the artwork is of such nature that I didn't struggle too much. It was just a question of figuring out where in the puzzle each of the elements had to go in the end. So I think the only reason why I feel such negativity towards this 1000 piece puzzle is because the 150 piece was such a luxurious experience. The mat and the variety and shapes and everything. I kind of expected the 1000 piece to be more to the liking of the pomegranate. I think if I want to compare it now to 1000 piece that felt similar to the 150, and the 1000 piece did not come near what I experienced with the pomegranate. So if it wasn't for the 150 piece puzzle that I've done 4 or 5 times already, I might have felt different about this experience. The pieces, even though it's more glossy than the 150 piece, it's not that glossy. I've done puzzles with a higher gloss. I've done other puzzles with only 2 innies and 2 outies. That's usually not something that bothers me at all. So I think the only reason why I feel negative towards this specific puzzle is because my expectations were very, very different. And I did not expect what I got. So moving on to the artist, he is Michael Cailloux. He's a French artist born in Paris in 1975. He works across several mediums, including drawing, copper plate engraving, etching, sculpture, and design. So he's got a very big portfolio of artwork, and the type of dot and line work that he used for this image is heavily, heavily influenced by the copper plate engraving style. So I don't know how many of you guys know the dot and line art style. I think the ones that dabble into doodling, is that what you call it, will know a bit more. But it's basically the use of lines and dotting to create images. And what's fascinating more than the lines is the dotting, how they are able to create shadows with the dotting. So the more compact it is, the darker appearance that it has, the further apart it is, the lighter appearance. So it's fascinating. I will try to insert an example of one that's not on a puzzle that was done by pen only. So basically, what happens is he starts with a very fine marker, permanent marker, and he draws the outlines and he does the dotting, does the shadowing, and I can only assume the coloring came afterward. This art style reminded me a lot of the lino painting. That I did a puzzle by Angela Harding a couple of months ago, and the art style reminded me quite a lot of that. And I fell in love with that art style. And this one, as it reminded me of that, I took this puzzle. And again, the artwork. You guys know I love art. I love art styles. I love exploring the way that people get images on a canvas, or in this case, a puzzle. So, all in all, thanks to the artist and the artwork, I really enjoyed this puzzle. I will definitely do another by the artist. I will do another by the brand if I get the art that I love. Again, I just want to say I think my expectations were too high. So, don't completely brush off the brand. Give it a chance. Make up your own mind. Like I said, I just think that my expectations were too different from what I actually received. I wish I could have given this brand a better review, but I blame them for providing me with such a luxurious 150 piece puzzle and making me expect more of the 1000 piece. So if you have done one without that previous concept in your mind of this should be a great brand, please let me know what was your first impression of the brand. So yeah, just because I'm a fan of art puzzles in general, I'm a fan of art styles, I did love this puzzle. And taking into consideration all the shortcomings of the brand, I still did enjoy the brand in the end. So please let me know if any of you have had a different experience with this brand, if this maybe was a fluke, but I suspect that this is what I can expect from 1000 piece Djeco in the future. And then on that note, I would just like to say thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.